All right. So, did you see what to do there? Oh, it's still,
Button up.
okay.
Are you in Windows or Linux?
Windows.
Let me,
Everybody else has Git installed.
Yes, we do. We do?
we do.
Okay, we do.
I'm going to look and see what they're doing, because,
It is installed.
and that's the
That's
command line.
installed, but
And
I'm
that's
assuming, yeah, we ran git K and it tells us we don't have anything set up yet. And I can't find any icons.
There's probably not going to be any icons.
Okay.
I'm going to wing this because I am not at all familiar with the Apple. What do we have? I think if this is Mac OS X,
Yeah, that's probably a really old version, but
and maybe the problem. I'm not sure. Saying Apple, does that make any kind of sense to you guys?
I mean, the git K will open.
Let me give you a pop-up here.
Oops. Oops. I cannot find that.
Oh, okay, so,
I'm assuming it's working. We just need to enter in to figure it.
so Git K must be like, let's see. Cannot find any problems with it. Okay.
So somebody just need to set up here.
Are we just in a? Can't spell. I don't want to do anything funky. So let's see. Illegal instruction.
Let me look for that.
Git K must be like the GUI for you guys.
Okay.
I was going, what I've got is all on the command line, so it would all be using Git. Illegal instruction. I don't know how to advise you at this point. I have no idea. I know enough.
Don't worry about us. We'll figure it out one way.
We'll listen.
Yeah.
It makes more sense if you can do it,
Okay.
Well, yeah.
but like I said, I wasn't really planning on. I can muddle my way through on the Apple, but I'm going to steal the screen from you guys. And Jim has the other laptop, so we'll just go through it like this. How are you doing?
I like this. Yeah, I need to turn off my antivirus.
What about maybe that one? How are you connected? You connected to?
I think that is the MPR public. Which one?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't like that for some reason.
This one?
Yeah, try that one. doesn't like that. Well, I don't know.
Maybe my antivirus.
His is giving a security error. Yeah,
What are you running,
It's-
Windows 10?
says it's not.
7.
It says it's not private.
Oh, you're on a public Wi-Fi, yeah, okay.
That could be it.
It's the Wi-Fi that's,
Well, that's why I had him switch to this one, and it's still saying it.
yeah, they're putting you through their filter stuff. Well, I get that too,
At McDonald's.
yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow if I hold my mouth right, I can get by it.
Okay.
It's almost like you have to log in, but we don't have any logins.
I had to go through Republic or something, Republic's, turn the Wi-Fi on or connect to it through Republic.
Well, you wanna follow along and just
Oh, it wasn't, get him over here, you can drive this.
there you go. Let share one laptop.
Yeah, we got a seat over here, you have to sit by ours, but that's okay. We'll have to put up with him, but for one more week anyway. He's got a tripwire there for you.
Relation of plants.
So that's that's running Linux, so it's probably a little bit different, but
Yeah.
but you're sitting next to Art. Art knows Linux, so
There we go.
and everybody's got it installed, sort of, maybe.
Do we have it installed?
Yes, it is installed on that. Of course, that one's mine. So, what we want to do is we want to go into the file manager and create a temporary folder because we're just going to be testing and playing. So we don't want to create anything good.
We go into the file system?
Yeah. Go into go to my documents. That's a good place to go.
Okay.
Get a new folder. Call it whatever you want to call it because there's 3 of you playing.
Okay.
Erase me.
Pick a name.
Yeah, you should be all right. Yeah.
Erase me or something. It's just to use now. Okay. It's okay. It's good.
Okay.
All right. He's needs a couple seconds to catch up.
You guys go ahead. I don't want to hold everybody
So
up.
right click on the folder somewhere and open up the terminal.
There we go.
And for the Linux people, when you get there, you're going to go into the folder that you just created and right click on that, and there'll
So
be a
we're
new
just gonna
thing that says
install
open and
GitHub, is that
get-
the deal?
get.
It's installed. It's also installed.
Okay.
It's already installed.
It's already installed on here?
Just type git.
Okay. GIT. Return. There you
Yep.
go. Let's
So
let's expand this a little bit.
make it make it readable. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a local repository, one that doesn't go out to the internet at all right now.
Yep.
So we're going to type git space int
Hi.
in. Yeah, you got to hit the. I'm sorry, the N doesn't work.
Okay.
in,
In.
in as in
Nancy.
Nancy.
No, no.
INTI, clean in. Hit enter.
What?
Hit enter. That will create your. What do you do?
What do you mean?
Oh, I know what we did. It's init. INIT. That's my fault. I said it backwards.
INRT? Now,
Now hit enter.
So that's an empty.
You need to change, does it need to go as a directory?
No, you're good. You've created an empty GitHub
Okay.
or a Git repository.
Okay.
Now we need to put a file into this repository, so we're going to want to create a README file.
How you do that?
type here. Let me try it for a moment.
You can either do that from the command line or you could do it from,
And you want a README file?
readme.me.
I assume you want them all uppercase, right?
Yes, sir.
Lowercase,
ME, MD, yes.
like that?
And then we're going to put something in that, it doesn't matter what. Just
Okay, what do you want to put in there?
I was sticking my name in there, I was here, blah, 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 but it doesn't really matter.
Save and close?
Yes, sir.
So Windows, you'd be editing a file?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing it with the notepad,
Okay.
I'm actually doing it with BI editor, whatever.
capital README, README, dot MD.
Hmm.
MD is
Oh.
lowercase, looks like.
And so put it in.
Whatever you want. I've been sticking my name in. Look here,
Okay.
this man.
Cat
He's
just
always
brings
prepared.
out the content of the text file.
Show the content of the file, on the text.
All it does
So
is
you're going to want to
Turn out
save it as well.
cat
And all that
is a
sort of stuff.
command in Linux or Unix or any of those operating systems that prints out a text file, the content of a text file.
Cat will do the same thing as type,
Okay.
or very similar to
It's
type.
similar, not quite.
That's
Type,
all
type
logical.
won't, type won't. I don't think type won't work on Linux.
What?
Type doesn't work on Linux. This is Linux, we're not in Windows.
Okay, so now we're going to type git space status. And we're going to see, or we should see, an untracked file.
Yeah, fatal, this operation must be running on work track.
Untracked files, okay. Initial commit. Nothing added, so
Oh. Give me a directory. I believe you are not where you should be.
no, that file doesn't exist, but
Oh, it's
read me,
incomplete, yeah.
read me.
So you created a new.
No, it's case sensitive. It's case
Yes.
sensitive.
Oh,
We actually want.
Dot MD.
see.
Okay, now do status again. GitHub status.
Call that readme.
No, well, you got one too many T's there, and
This is a problem with the key.
yes.
file.
Now, you.
Yep, there you are. I believe that has to be a text file. If you make it into something binary, it'll do
Yeah.
all kinds of screwy
It
things.
will. They, somehow or another, he got way off of where
Yeah.
he should be.
Should I not be under system 32?
No, you should not be.
Okay, it's because it required me to run as an administrator. So when I, the command prompt to run this. So when I ran it as administrator, then it's put me in system 32.
That's interesting.
So I'll fix it.
Okay. You need to be where you created your temporary
Okay.
folder. So the status, I don't want to get so far ahead that you get lost, but what status does is it tells you that there's files waiting to be staged for inclusion into your repository. So that would be the readme.md file. And you can also see that Git is fairly friendly and it tells you pretty much what to do. It says use git space add in a file name to include the file. And ADD and the file name. So it would be
We already did it.
Did you already include it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we already did that.
Got ahead of me, didn't you? It's all right.
Now this file is in your GitHub, right?
It's
It's
It's-
local.
staged right now. You haven't committed it yet. So it's
It's in your
local
local space. Okay.
local repository right now. Art knows more about GitHub than he's letting on.
The local one works exactly like the web one.
Yes, it works the same way, only there's a couple more things that we're going to do to add it so that we could upload it to the web. But it's pretty much the same basic commands. In fact, when we go to the web to actually make a repository, you'll see that the first 4 commands are exactly what we're doing here. And then there will be 2 more commands added to it. So you can also, when you go and you add files, you can use wildcard. So if you've got a bunch of stuff, you could go add and the asterisk file, and it'll add all of them.
And you can add folders also, right?
Yes.
You can
Folder.
create all the structure of your project. And then you can add, no add, just, how you say to move all to the web.
When we're ready to push it to the web, it's called push.
Just push.
GitHub has a limit on file size. So videos are probably out because they're usually pretty big, and some pictures, it has a problem with some pictures because they're big.
Because you don't see much pictures or
videos.
or stuff. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason is because GitHub puts a file size limit on it. And that's something that
You're talking about GitHub.com. It
Right.
basically has, on their site, it's a limit.
it's a limit. It's not a limit of Git. It's a limit of
GitHub.
they're trying to,
Conserve space.
especially for the free accounts, they're conserving
Okay, perfect.
they're conserving space.
You
So.
need more bigger files. You can pay for the.
So, have you got there?
We're good.
Okay.
We're switching because I think it's ready to go. I'm gonna see if I can figure this one out.
Okay. So we've got files staged. They're ready to be committed what's called committed to the repository that we've just created. So now, as the name would imply, commit, we type git space commit.
G.
The T on that keyboard's a little funky too. So
Commit is a NM.
COMM. IT.
And the name of the file or
No.
everything?
what we're going to do,
You got two names there? Okay.
commit lets us put a note or a message about what we're actually committing. So if we made a change or this would be our first time we're doing it, so you type dash AM quotes first commit, which is pretty typical the first time everybody just
What means
types
Double quote or single quote?
Double quote.
double quote.
you need to put them?
Pretty typically everybody for the first time says
I'm sorry, double quote.
he's got it.
That's something.
I can't see what it's saying. So
Now what
Set your account's default identity. Let's see, where'd you start here? Get started, okay.
You need to log in your thing, right?
you should, it should still get it. You should still. Can't type. There you go. That's all it wanted. Congratulations, you just made your first repository.
Okay, so it needed an email
Yeah,
address
it tracks
and the username.
when if somebody else, if you're working on a community project, it will say get how's it where it's committed by blah blah. That's what I just told it. I told it that I actually created that, which is not true. But so now if you
two M's. Two M's. Yeah, two M's.
now what we're going to do is we're going to make a change, a scary change. It might actually be easier if he went back to the file manager.
Every commit is like a snapshot of
Yes.
your work.
A snapshot of your work.
And they are enumerated or something
Yes.
and have the tag of the time and you can go back
Yes,
to this
sir.
moment.
So, and we're going to do that here in a
It's like
second.
when you are writing software and create the
It's like a version
B, the
control
C, the
system.
D, the different versions and copies in your computer.
Yeah, it's version control.
Okay.
In fact.
We're working on one branch right now. With this that we've just created is called the master branch. So you can work on the master branch, make more commits, or you can work on another branch of the tree.
You can create a message to go to the commit to remember why you did it. You know, for example, you want to change your strategy to do a driver or something, and you say, okay, let me remember where it was and put a tag or something.
Well,
Because only the time or.
but let's let's go ahead and change the README file. So,
I'm not in the next time.
okay,
Yes,
I want to help everybody. So we'll change this, we'll edit it.
change
This is a GitHub.
new line with everything.
We'll say, hello, world.
And you say that.
And we save it. So you guys make a change to the README file. Just whatever you want to change it to and save it. And then go back to your bash, your command line. Now if you type git status again, you will see it says that something has changed.
When it's in red, means
What's in red? There's two ways you can handle this at this point. And it tells you both ways. Down here in the bottom, it says either use git add and add the file name again, or git commit -a. So the -a automatically will add that file back in.
the last file,
The last change. Well, any of them that have changed, it'll allow.
all your environment,
So
all the changes.
A will automatically add the changes. AM what makes you put a comment.
You can
What
put
does
a
just
comment.
the add do then? Add does what?
Add,
Just the add.
it basically puts it back into the staging.
Where you put the comment after the A.
So you put AM for automatically add and a message,
Message.
and then so what the commit does with the -a, it's a shortcut to the add. So there you go. You've just made a new change. So now you actually have two things in your thing. There you go. Untracked, nothing added to commit, but untracked files. Now, why didn't that work for you?
I need this to work in the camera software. Remember?
The nice thing, like I said, Git does give you hints as to what you should do.
Yep.
So that's always a bonus.
Okay, so here we go. What does git add do?
Git add stages your files for the commit.
Commit.
Correct.
The second one commits.
The second one commits.
You set up a file.
Do you have to add and then do the commit, or just you can do the commit and it does the add and the commit?
If you use the
Staging a file, I don't know what that means. Stages a file.
if you use the A tag, then apparently the Windows version is slightly different. The commit doesn't have the A tag. So for the Windows people, you have to do the git add and then the commit. For the Linux people, we get a shortcut.
So the commit add does what?
It stages the file.
And what does staging the file mean?
It prepares it to be added. Basically,
It tells the repository to get ready for new files.
in effect.
So if you do the commit without the stage, do you get the old file?
I don't know. I think you get, I've never tried that. I think you get an error.
So why do you have a separate command? Commit. Okay. So you need to, normally you'd stage a file and then do the commit. Okay, I
That's
got it.
correct.
Yeah, apparently Linux gives us a shortcut with the A,
Okay.
which I was unaware of. What's next? So now, this is how I do this. There's probably a different way to do it. If you want to see all of the commits that you've done, if you type git space log, L-O-G.
Is it dash log or log?
No, it's just log as far as I'm.
So you see the whole history of your,
Yeah.
of that particular repository.
Of that particular repository.
That's the use of this.
So,
To know where to go back or when to go back.
right.
Yeah, you can
You'll
open
see a hash, a big long number next to your commits.
Yeah.
Or somewhere near your commits.
Oh, yeah.
That identifies
brown
it.
thing.
That tells you, if you look here, you're going
This
to,
this is
Check
the
it.
name of your file, of the copy of the file when you, before the change or what?
That's probably the internal name of the.
yeah, that's an internal. When you commit, it hashes it all in it, and it
I want to go back to the,
to number one. So you're going
to
to the
before the
first,
changes, you know?
right. That's what we're going to do. So you're going to type git checkout and that big long number for the.
Yes. You sure?
Yeah. I don't want to.
There's a way to copy it or something?
Copy it and paste it.
Control C, Control P.
Yeah, you can highlight it. You should be able to highlight it.
In Linux, that's all you do, you just scoot across and highlight it. And then, whoops, have you got it there?
Control something.
No,
Control C.
you can do Control C, but you can also do right click.
But I think I got back on
Right
track.
click,
Where did I get back?
and there should be copy there.
Oh, he's a mouse bound person. You
Yeah.
think of you'd be
I
surprised.
had been off,
Okay.
so the only commit was the last one.
No, but this is not before, right? This is after Leroy made this modification.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
How we go to the file without the modification?
I'm not that word.
Okay.
Where you got it off?
Well, I was off before,
Okay.
okay? But I got on track,
Close
and
this,
the
go
very
back to
last
the command
commit
line.
is the one it took. So I,
Checkout
so I need to do another commit.
master node.
Already on master. I'm not sure how he got off.
You may have another session. Do you have another session or something?
Let me
Yeah,
try
you
to
have this
change
session.
another commit.
Yeah, close that.
I honestly am not sure how you got off.
Probably right there.
It looks to me like you, somehow or another, you've moved ahead and recommitted.
Well, I think I skipped a step.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, you're not in the right place, okay. Do a CD space, wait a minute,
Now, if you go back to your,
back up,
just
back
leave,
up.
just leave that alone.
Try an LS
Type git status.
space dash
Hopefully.
LT.
Still looks like
Return.
somehow or another you got ahead. Now,
Okay, all right, let me drop. Okay.
the option for the A.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. I don't. Add. We'll just do it the long way.
Okay, LTA,
Type
get
your
to the
file name
hidden
again.
files as well as the.
It's highlighted here in
Where
red.
the hell is get?
It's capital. Now, git commit
We should be in documents, okay.
and dash A M. There you go. Sorry, the first few times I did it, I just
Crap.
it blew my mind. Okay. See, it's telling you you're ahead somewhere with this stuff here, and that's all right. So if you type git log, you should.
Now
see
we're in
it.
the right place. Now you type.
So
what do you
somehow or
say?
another,
Get
you've lost
what?
your first commit and your second commit.
Yeah.
But your fourth and your third and your fourth are there.
Of the files, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure how you lost the other two.
Well, I think I know.
Okay, what did he
You
say?
know which.
Look, right, it's.
Log,
First
right.
2 times, I skipped ahead.
Okay.
And the third,
That's
the third
why.
time,
You have the
That's why
first
your head
commit.
marker
This is the
moved.
first and this is the second.
So these are marker positions.
That's
why it moved. So you've lost it.
it
You
was
see
my
the
third
file
time
before the
that I
change.
did this step and then went on.
Right.
And then the 4th time, did it that way again.
So the command that we were looking at though, so that we could go back in time, and it's called checkout.
Yeah.
So we are. Where are we? Where am I?
Let's go to the next page.
So get checkout, and this long number here is your hash number, which I represented there. So
No, crap.
we're on the 4th one right there, by that. So if you wanted to go back in time, it would be this big long number. Would take you back in
What if
time.
we put them in the mouse of my computer? Here. Linux will recognize it.
All of that? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
You got a Bluetooth,
Isn't
right?
that low?
Is that Bluetooth?
Well,
That's gotta load the driver though.
You may have to
Yeah,
use
it'll be fine.
the keyboard to actually get it to copy. You do it in
Turn on. Oh, yeah. it's
So
working.
have I thoroughly confused everyone?
Excuse me.
Have I thoroughly confused everyone?
Copy.
I think he's.
We made some hardware modifications.
And let's see.
All right.
Yeah. What do we need to, status that? What was the command to, status
Status.
a particular?
Oh, yeah, get checkout and then just the number.
You copy paste.
That big long number is called a hash. So now if you open your file back up again, it should be reversioned back to the last time it was committed.
Yep.
So now if you go back to your
We
bash,
got a problem here.
Is it status? Stat without US
status.
to see this file.
Oh, to see that file,
Yeah.
Yeah.
checkout. And
Copy,
paste.
paste. So, okay.
Hit enter. And your should, if you type status again, you should see that you're on that. And if you go back into the self,
Oh, do you see?
It'll be reverted back to the original.
it'll be, so if you go
Unless
back here in that file again,
in the morning and about the first or second one in line.
Here?
The computers are gone.
Yeah.
I asked the
Are
manager.
you the
while I
one
was there,
we want to open this
Did they go?
file, right?
Yeah.
Here, this, the file, this
They don't open till 9.
That version.
You've opened that
They start a
version.
line at 7:30, but they don't open
Oh,
till 9.
you're not on
So
there.
They're an hour and a half,
Documents,
just waiting.
get, readme. So is that the
Yeah,
version?
but we want to see the
The
former file.
Okay, so that's,
Change.
so you want,
This
That one.
one.
And that's the one we
The
were
hash.
in.
Copy. Mhm.
That's a
Come on.
tower.
e-cache head state.
$3 for the monitor, $3 for the tower,
You are now on my first commit.
$24 for the power supply.
Why are we seeing hello
And I've
world?
got a newer
We lost half an hour of work.
Oh, man.
1 terabyte hard drive.
But it's easy to create the second time.
Before the head of.
Yeah, I've done this.
Oh, because we're not on the first commit.
No.
For now.
We're on the first change.
Mhm.
Oh, I got a link that I think-
Where's the first commit?
First commit's the next one.
Okay.
Still better than Windows 8.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's
First
bizarre.
comment is the last.
So if you,
Line.
if you want that on, you can send it
It does to actually look at what the screen's
I've
saying,
come
right?
around and it's
Every now and
saying
then?
Windows 10 is not free anymore.
Okay.
in. Yeah, it's technically not.
Previous head position was blah, blah, blah. My first change.
Yep.
Head is now blah, blah, first commit.
They were.
Okay. And you can open.
And it should say reload, and there it is.
That's
the case.
Yep.
So, should be on their first commit or your fourth.
Yeah.
So to get back to where you should be without weirdness, it's git, checkout, and then master. That should get you back to your last space.
Get, check
And
out.
you can move like in a tree, just moving in
Yeah,
different branches.
Yeah, well, a branch is a little bit different, but yes, it's the same idea. A branch, we're going to make a branch if we've got time. We will make a branch. I kind of was hoping that everybody could get on GitHub itself, because I wanted to push this to GitHub so you can see how that worked, and then we were going to make a branch.
But it's usual to use branches, right?
Yeah.
Because you still in a new form of solving a problem and try to go
Right.
this way.
So if your master branch is the working branch, in theory, your master branch should be working code or working whatever. What you'll do is you would say git checkout -b and another name, and it will copy your master branch into this new branch. You can go and you can work on the new branch without fear of screwing up your working
In
code.
Windows, you also have this kind of commands, line commands all the time, or there is another works in a different way.
There is a GUI.
Okay.
I find it way easier to use line than the GUI, but
Yeah, because you're the person to work on.
We have more control is the point.
I find, especially the Linux
Okay.
version of the GUI, to not be very good.
We need a good.
But
Buttons, right?
it does have a GUI. And if you right-click on your file, it would say something about opening it with the GUI or opening it.
That's if you're in Windows.
Yeah, Windows comes pre-installed with a GUI. Linux has one. I just don't like it. So that was part one.
I
That,
rather one like this one, this way.
like the Windows way.
I need to learn two things: Linux and GitHub.
Well, see, I gave you a good crash course right now.
We got the basic concept of what's going on, so we should be able to figure it out.
I don't think I think only a couple people in here are actually set up on GitHub right now, and that might take a little bit longer to
Well,
do.
each person's gonna have to have a,
Their own online repository.
well, their own online account also.
Yeah. So I think that's going to take, we can say part two is setting up the online, pushing that repository to an online status. So
This is probably good for first nice nodule, and then we can do it in small pieces.
So you get, so
I think that we need to make a team of several people working in the same project
yes,
using GitHub, something simple, just to learn how to do it.
well, that was, I actually have one set up that's called GitHub Learn, and that's what I'd set it up for, was just so that,
Thinking in a simple project.
well, it wasn't even a project, it was just something that if you screw it up, you screw it up.
Yeah.
You got,
To create an account, you need a mail
yeah, well,
address and
yeah,
password.
I'm not real sure what you need anymore. I think it's just
Yes, I'll try it. Okay.
I think it's just
In my
I-
computer, can I have copy of the same environment in the laptop, in the desktop, and in the web, right? I move from one to another without trouble.
you're getting a little further ahead than where we're at right now, but yes, definitely.
So if he wants to do that, if he has a desire to do that, that might be the next step to get his account set up on
It's
his PC.
it's all right there. It tells how to do it.
But then we
So-
can watch it we could put his screen up and watch him do it.
So we're up to step 2, and I think we're going to call it
You can
a
have,
good stopping point for right now.
you can have as many projects as you want, and you can make them public or private.
I think the private ones are only on the paid accounts.
Yeah, I think so.
I think private is only for people that are willing to pony up money.
You know the cost of private?
I don't. No, but I don't.
I think you're dealing with,
Because you change to work with GitHub, you want to change everything you are doing, right? I am doing things for business and things for fun.
But
so you
see,
have multiple accounts.
Maybe create a
Yeah.
different account.
what we've got, I've got my own personal GitHub account. The club has a GitHub account. Me, Jim, and Jeremy are admin for the club account. So you could do something like that. You could have your own personal account and then set up a paid account for your business.
Each account is tied to a specific email address.
It is. Except, well, they call, what do they call those? The club
Well,
is
you pay, you can have.
the
several.
the club is still a free. We're still on a free plan, but it's under, what do they call that? The community or groups or something. It's
Definition they have.
So how do you get to it?
can you see that?
Is it on here somewhere?
Yes. Probably right near the top of the thing, actually. It probably says GitHub Automation Technology.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That is the club's repository.
Okay.
Personal repositories are $7 a month. Is that,
Seems,
When you are editing
the business repositories are probably more expensive.
the file
Personal?
organization accounts, it says personal repositories,
Yeah.
$7 a month.
Yeah, there's a business plan now, I'm sure that,
listen,
Once you get this information out there, how do you use it?
as far as,
Just go look at it, or?
Well, through programming. Set-
well, okay. What we have done is just like very nothing really. I use it for code. So, you know, if I'm programming my Arduinos or whatever, then I go and I make a repository and commit it so that I could track the changes in case the code breaks somewhere. I could go back in time.
Yeah.
You're
That's,
using it as a version control.
yeah, it's a version control.
yeah, yeah.
And
That's the reason.
that's really what it's designed to do is control basically a version of almost anything. So, you know, if you were a website designer and you made changes to your website, you could use Git to do that. If you were doing documents, you could use Git for that reason. I use it for code. And I think the vast majority of people use it for code.
But the key point is it allows you to share with other people.
Well, I guess that's my question. How could I go out and look at somebody else's code and get an idea if I'm trying to do something?
So this is my own personal repository online. So if you wanted to see, I don't know, anything that I was working at, like 3 days ago, I created a test because I was doing this.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the same thing that we just did. So
He wants to know if he wants to look for somebody's code that does a certain task, right?
Yes, yes.
That's what everybody wants to do.
well, you just go to GitHub, and in the search block, you type what you're looking for.
People can see the former versions of your work.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the whole history.
So if we wanted to see,
Scripts and all.
yeah, scripts and all. So you see here where it says there's 2 commits.
Uh-huh.
I can go and I can hit that button
And you see the date
and I can see my first commit.
Yes.
And if I click over here on the hash, up, it is.
I like it.
And if I want to see
You
the,
can see the changes in the from the last one.
yes, so if I click on this one, you can see what actually changed, the red line.
Red are the changes.
Red was added
There's
and
blue, red, white.
I'm not sure what the blue is telling me. But the I was here was the original, and then the hello world is my next commit. So you can do the same thing. But if you go just to GitHub, you search GitHub for, I don't know, anything.
Arduino.
There will be
You're
a
gonna
ton
get
of,
a lot of.
there's a ton of stuff. It will show you everybody's, not just mine. And it's
I
being
think
really,
that's
really
where
slow.
every place where it appears in
Description.
in the title.
I think it
does
shows
not
up in the
show-
description too.
But it doesn't show you where it appears in the content.
Right.
If you had the word Arduino in the content
Right.
of your commit, it wouldn't show that.
Usually in a project, they have a part under the files that describe, like a document describing this is some kind of file. It's a specific name, README or something.
Read me. Okay, I'll show you here.
But they have pictures and a lot of stuff in this description.
Yes, that, it's using something called Markdown language to do that.
Like Word or.
It's actually just a text language. It's like markup language, only it's called Markdown.
Okay.
So this should have a README file, just like we created right here. Now, GitHub README file. So
How do you edit this file? Is an editor for this? You put in letters, bigger, smaller, links, pictures.
Yes.
You do by hand every.
So to make that bigger, you put it's two hash marks and a space.
HTML, with brackets and stuff.
No, you don't need the brackets. So like that says Arduino. I think
It's not like HTML.
Yeah, I think.
It's not
Yeah,
HTML.
yeah. But you have an editor for that also.
I can show you, yeah, one day. So I think that first line is hash space Arduino.
Is it space or underscore?
No, well, I put an underscore. It should be a space.
But it's not HTML.
It's called Markdown.
It's called Markdown.
It's called Markdown.
HTML is a markup language.
HTML is a markup. This is a Markdown. And I could actually do. I've got a couple of pretty good tutorials on markup.
You can change the view of this file to the original language, to the test form.
Yeah, is there some way to change
so that you could see the.
so you can see the edit?
I don't-
The raw.
I have the raw file. Right?
Yeah. How do you edit it? In other words, raw. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
That's not it.
That's Markdown. That's
Let's see.
the Markdown language.
Where are the hashtag of the first line?
Yeah, I don't see the hashtag on
Maybe
the
the
first
first
one.
line is by default.
It's not supposed to be, but maybe.
But
I
there's
see
a
3 hashes there doing something latest release.
Yeah.
installing with Boards Manager, yeah.
Using, okay, the 3 hashes must be highlights or new topic or something.
Well, go back to the other view.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Links are
Content.
inside brackets, I think.
Each one of those hashes make it smaller. So 2 would be smaller than 3. No, 3 would be smaller than 2. 1 would be the biggest. Yeah, I gotta look at my Markdown cheat sheet every time I use it.
You did it in a text editor,
Yes, it's just a text editor.
knowing what to do with it.
I always have to look at my little Markdown cheat sheet to use it. But yes, that's.
How do you call this language?
Do a search on Markdown language, and you'll see the whole syntax there.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. Like the brackets are links.
And how do you
Okay.
include a picture? How would you
With brackets.
also?
Yeah.
And put
Now, how do you
the
get to that view, I think is what he's
and your picture is a file in your repository.
Yep.
And it appears.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
But how do you get from that view to the other view?
I click on the file and then there's a button right here that says raw.
Oh, raw, okay.
Just looking at different files of other people in the raw format, you can find out everything.
Yeah, you can find out all kinds of
Still
stuff.
need to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Raw will tell you a bunch of stuff you don't want to
the
know.
free ones are public, so you can go and poke around all you want to.
Yes. So, to answer your question though,
And they give you
we
features that you may
just
want.
looked up Arduino with nothing else. And there's 90,000
Depends on how cheap you are.
repositories.
And we know you're pretty.
So
you gotta-
Just say-
You need to zero it in a
You
little bit.
gotta refine things a little bit.
So, you could say Arduino robot, and there's probably still 10,000. There's only 3,000 Arduino robots on there. But all these are public, and for the most part, they share their code. A lot of people will have a license agreement, which is another file that you can put in there.
Yeah, if you click on one of those.
So-
You think that is a
you'll
good
see
idea?
license down there, right by the.
Yeah,
region
I'm
file.
trying to get there.
There you go.
So the license, what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
Or what you,
You can publish all the project in this page. For example, with I used to work with a lot of drawings and pictures. I can do, and then under the, it's not a good idea. It's better a blog or something.
you need to,
It's better a blog with a link to the.
yeah, you need to kind of
GitHub.
read what GitHub says about the pictures and stuff, because like I said, there's a file limit on them.
There's a space limitation.
Yeah, so, but basically, if the license says you're free to do whatever, you're pretty much free to do.
Well,
You just copy-
basically,
you just
the
copy
general
it,
public
yeah,
license, you have to give credit to.
Yeah.
If you use it, you have to give credit to whom.
I've got a couple of them up there that just say, I don't really care what you do with this, just say that I wrote it. That's all I care about.
Don't ask me for anything.
Don't ask me for nothing else.
I am not going to support you.
But yeah, it's all there. And maybe next week, maybe the following week, I don't know when Jim wants to do it, we'll actually clone a repository and we'll use it for something.
Well, that's cool. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks for putting out what the meeting's gonna be about. A lot of meetups don't. You don't know till you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far in advance of the actual
Yeah.
meeting.
Holy.
Actually,
Advance notice.
it's actually on Meetup, which is where he came from.
Can you shut that computer down for me, please?